Hello everyone, Jolene here from Bookworm Adventure Girl. I hope that you are all well. Welcome to another Tag Tuesday, where I am still getting caught up on all of the great tags that I have been tagged in. So if you have tagged me, don't worry, you are on the list. I promise I will get to it. Today I am doing a tag that's been out for a while, the "Why haven't I read these yet" tag. This is a question I ask myself all the time. This tag was inspired by Crystal at Fiber Artsy and created into a tag by Greg at Another Bibliophile Reads, and I was tagged by the amazing Gemma from Gem of Books, and I will leave links to everyone's channel and their tag videos below, so please go and check those out. As Greg points out, we all have books that have been, sitting around on our shelves unread for a long time. I am certainly guilty of this as I look at my bookshelves. Basically, Greg has given us 6 prompts to bring to light the books that have been on our TBR the longest. So what I did was I actually looked back on my Goodreads lists, which has books from December of 2008, and I went from there. So here we go. The first prompt is a classic book. And I was originally thinking like War and Peace, because I know that I have had that on my TBR a long time. But when I actually looked back at my list, the first book that I would consider a classic is actually 100 Years of Solitude by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. I have never read anything by this author before. And of course, he's considered to be one of the best Latin American authors of all time. He won the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1982, and yet I still have not read this book. The second prompt is a fiction book. So for that, I chose Shopaholic Takes Manhattan by Sophie Kinsella. It still surprises me that I haven't continued this series. I loved the first book, Confessions of a Shopaholic, and I actually read it while on a trip to Manhattan. So, why haven't I continued this series? I love books that are set in Manhattan. I liked the characters in this story. I thought that it was just a lot of fun. So yeah, why have I not read this? Next is number 3, a non-fiction book. So I actually still have quite a few non-fiction from a while back, but the one that comes up that's surprising that I haven't read is A Mighty Heart by Mariane Pearl. Marianne's husband was a reporter for the Wall Street Journal, and he was kidnapped in Pakistan and eventually murdered. He was beheaded. And I remember following this story at the time and picking this book up shortly after the events took place and after it was published. But here it sits. And this is one that, I could save until nonfiction November next year maybe, but it might also be one that I can pick up sooner rather than later. Number 4 is a genre book. Now, I'm not sure that this is a genre book, but I kind of just figured Stephen King is a genre all to himself. So for this one, I am choosing Hearts in Atlantis by Stephen King because, well, it's been on my shelves since 2008 and it remains unread. So I do think that I saw the movie with Anthony Hopkins, but I don't remember anything about this story. I don't remember the movie, and I'm thinking that's a good way to go into this one, so maybe I will get to this in 2023. The 5th prompt is the book owned for the longest time but not read yet. So this is a great prompt, and for many years it would have been Middlesex by Eugenides. This was the book that I did finally read this year and loved. So that puts this next book, My Sister's Keeper by Jodi Picoult, in its place. And I hope when I finally get to it that I will love it too. It has been on my TBR since December 15th, 2008, which only puts it one day more than all of the others on the list, which were put into my Goodreads on December 16th, 2008. So one of my goals in 2023 will be to read this as the book that's been on my TBR the longest. I have only read one other book by Jodi Picoult, and yet I own quite a few of them. They're looking at them right there, so I really need to get to them. And then the final prompt is to tag some people that I know a lot of people have done this, but I'm going to tag 3 people that I don't think I've seen videos from them on this. So I'm going to tag Anne from Anne Novella. I'm going to tag Chattie from Chattie the Mad Chatter. And I'm going to tag Stella from It's Too Late to Apologize. If you are up to doing this tag, I would love to hear what books have, been on your TBR the longest. Thanks again to Gemma for tagging me in this. My hope is that I will get to some of these books this year. And thanks to all of you for watching. Please let me know what book has been on your TBR the longest, and are you hoping to read it? Are there any books that I mentioned that you would recommend I start with? Where should I start first? I look forward to chatting with all of you in the comments. Thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and don't forget to make every day an adventure.